Today we're in Greenville, South Carolina, and my friend got a shoot with the Audi dealership. He's out here doing the...
I made it, Mom. I made it, Mom.
When you're doing cars, it's important to use like a polarizer to get those glares off. But what that does is it also makes the colors pop, right? And then you're going to want to get details. Details are the key when it comes... So we're going low on some of these shots. The main reason for that is the construction zone in the back, right? You can see all those bulldozers and all that in the background. But it also just is a cool angle to get it off the street, get it horizontal and all that, and it's just up a little bit. It just adds something to it. So don't be afraid to play with angles when you're doing photos like this. So doing a lot of this stuff, right? It's just, you want to get those details right. Obviously you can't see it in the video, but I'm like zooming in on the logo and the names and stuff like that. You just want to make sure you kind of get those types of photos, you know, and watch your f-stop, because, you know, you could be doing everything at 2.8 and just other parts be out of focus that you meant to have in focus. So f4 is usually a good starting point, 5.6, something like that. So we're going low on some of these shots. The main reason for that is the construction zone in the back, right? You can see all those bulldozers and all that in the background. But it also just is a cool angle to get it off the street, get it horizontal and all that, and it's just up a little bit. It just adds something to it. So don't be afraid to play with angles when you're doing photos like this. I've talked about this in videos before, but one of my favorite parts about having an action cam or something like that, right? GoPro, whatever. And it's one of those things that's just cool to have as like BTS, so people can see what it's like to work with you. You know, if you're worried about vlogging and stuff like that, because it is kind of worrisome when you gotta like walk around, talk to yourself or whatever. So you can find different ways to conceal it. It works out well. Like right now, I'm not nervous, and this is the first time I've done something like this with like the Action 4, like actually like vlogging and not just it being in my house. So these are turbo fans is what these are that they're putting on. And you just want to try to get the shots of them putting it on, right, and installing it. But these are used to cool down the brakes on these because of how fast they're running. Because these brakes are going to run hot when they're going around corners. So these help cool it down, but we want to get photos of him installing. You know, you want to get all sorts of shots for when you're doing a shoot like this, just because they're important to document and people are going to like seeing them. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, right? Tight shots of the hands on there, shots of him staring at it, getting it installed. You want the side shot and all that, but you know, and then you can get close, right? You can see. So we got Jackie out here doing videos too.
I'm going to be speed ramping it, so it's going to go.
So now they're out here getting the second car down. So for this one, we're going to make sure we get photos of it, watch them test it. Same exact thing, but we're going to try to get into the dealership before they get there, because that way we can get it going in, because last time we weren't there in time, which isn't a big deal. They didn't pick us up, but this time we want to make sure we get there in time. So we're going to focus on this. And you get to see Jackie's back here taking more videos.
Coming out, this one's calibrating my gimbal. I'm like, ah, son of a gun.
And sometimes you got to be careful with what you're doing so you don't miss the shot. And now we're gonna get inside. You can see everything in here. This hit an 85, right? So we're gonna detail everything, right? I'm gonna drop it to 2.8 just because I want it to be like ultra focused, right? Get that background blur, but we can also get, you know, nice shots of the buttons without anything being in the way or anything like that. So, you know, just play around with it, you know.
Quattro, baby, quattro!
So now round two.
We gotta catch up with them before they put us inside.
We missed the first car, so we're trying to get the second car, and we have no idea what we're doing. We're just having fun. And fortunately, we made it this time.
We made it!
They're not gonna drive it in last time like the other car, so we got up here just in time to see it, and we're just gonna get photos of them pushing it in and inside the showroom and everything like that. And it's one of those, just play with the polarizer. Just check where the shadows are to get rid of those glares in certain spots, because they're centered now. And we're gonna see Jackie come running through with getting his video of these cars and both of them being right there. Something like this is important. You gotta have a higher f-stop number, so that way everything's in focus. Make sure, because depending on your camera, your memory card's gonna have different write speeds. So if you gotta take a bunch of photos in a row and you're like me using A7 IV, you're gonna need a CF Express or something with really high write speeds, because if they're shooting uncompressed RAW, they're high file sizes, so they're not gonna be able to take the photos as fast and write them onto your card as fast, so it lags. So think of that when you're at an event like this, right? Have a backup CF Express card, have a higher memory card. It doesn't have to be CF Express. You can use something, just make sure it has a high write speed on it, because you're gonna need that as the car's going by, because it's gonna need to put all that memory on that card. And if it's got a low write speed, it's gonna take forever and it's gonna buffer and buffer. So something like this, higher write speed on your memory card. That's just a little thing to remember. But the second car is about to take off, and this was more the rally car one. So now the second car is coming, and you're gonna hear it, and we're gonna see what we can do. So,
Hey, is that a Leica or a Fujifilm? Leica. Yeah.
so now we're done, and
Rich people.
he just saw a guy with a Leica. That's what's going
Rich
on.
people with Leicas.
He's jealous. That's all.
I am jealous.
Cars at night, a little difficult. It's fun, but it's a good experience. You know, it's always good to try something different when you're doing photography, because that's how you grow as a photographer. And in general, it's just trying something you don't normally do. So, hope y'all like this kind of vlog we did tonight.